Welcome back to my channel. My name is Kristen. Thank you so much for practicing with me. In tonight's practice, I'll be guiding you through a full moon yin yoga practice. And this month, the full moon is in the sign of Aquarius. So in this practice, we'll be taking the time to slow down the fluctuations of the mind so that we can drop into the heart space and observe any emotions that are rising up in the body at this time. And if you'd like to deepen into your yin yoga practice from the perspective of traditional yoga therapy and the cycles of the seasons, then join me in my home yin yoga membership, The Heart of the Heart, and you can find more about that in the links below. And in tonight's practice, we'll get started by coming into a comfortable seated position. Please make sure that you have the props that you need to support you through your practice. So you can close your eyes and cross one shin bone in front of the other. And just take a moment to settle in, moving your body in any way that you need to so that you can come into a space of stillness. Taking a deep breath in through your nose and exhale through open mouth to release and let go of any tension. And we'll take our palms face down on the thighs to ground the mind into the body. You can bring your thumb and your first finger to touch, creating a little bit more space in the mind. And drawing up along the spine, all the way through the crown of your head, connecting to the sushumna, the central channel that runs through the center of your spine, just like a fine golden thread. And resting the space between your eyebrows, opening to the chitakasha, the space of the mind. As though the beautiful night sky were settling into the mind, creating a sense of expansion. And in the mind's eye, imagining a full luminous moon, shining a light on our subconscious waters, our subconscious thoughts and emotions that we hold in the body. And allowing the mind to rest into the cradle of your heart. Becoming the witness to all thoughts and emotions that are present in the body at this time. And knowing that there's nothing you need to do except become the witness, holding space. And then you can slowly open your eyes and extend your legs open into a straddle, letting the thigh bones relax and the muscles soften. And feeling as though you were shifting up onto the sits bones, letting the toes relax. And we'll start on the left side of the body by bending through the left knee and bringing your heel in line with the groin. And you can take the heel further out away from the groin until you feel that you can just let that knee wing open without any tension through the knee, through the hip, or the lower back. You can also add a cushion or a block just underneath your knee. and also perhaps adding a prop for your forehead. And we'll take a full breath here. And as you exhale, let your chin drop towards your chest. So there's a sense of heaviness through the bones of the body as the spine starts to round, letting the whole body drop down. No need to pull your body down. You're just coming to a natural stopping point and then supporting your body from there. And wherever you come to rest, make sure that you can breathe, that the breath is naturally expanding without effort. Beginning to soften any spaces of holding through the body or bracing, and come to rest in the heart space. And often this movement from the mind into the heart can be quite difficult as we come up against a lot of momentum in the mind and the emotions. If you find yourself in that space tonight, simply reconnect with your breath and find the spaces that open up between the thoughts, between the emotions. And just like the night sky, resting in the mind, cooling and soothing. And finding the still point of the posture where you feel like you're floating in water, the bones of the body floating, letting it all go, and allowing yourself to simply be. Taking your time to slowly roll up and out, coming back to a seated position. And as you come up, you can extend your left leg to the left and just feel the energy and the fluids releasing down through the left side of the body. And we'll bend our right knee and bring the heel in line with the groin. Again, you might need to prop on this side just depending on what's happening through the hip joint for you. And you can bring the heel either closer or further away. It's nice to have a little bit of space so that the knee doesn't become too tense in this posture. And when you're ready, you can add props for your forehead. And take a breath to round the spine forward. And again, just hanging into gravity. Not reaching with the arms, letting the elbows bend and the fingertips relax. And propping and supporting your body wherever you come to rest. Your breath expanding through the whole back body. And staying very passive through the body, take several breaths to roll up and come back to a seated position. And take a moment to feel and sense into the SI joints, into the sacrum and pelvic bowl, feeling the bones of the pelvis and the hips floating in water, fluid moving in and out through the hip joints. And taking a full and deep breath in and out. And then when you're ready, let's come down onto our back, bending both knees and placing our feet on the floor. And take a moment here, bring your hands to the top of your hips and just very gently oscillate through the pelvis and the lower back, feeling the tailbone lift up off of the ground and the lower back lengthen along the ground. Then exhale and feel the lower back curve return as the tailbone tilts down to the ground. And just feel the pelvic bowl rocking back and forth for a few breaths. Gently stimulating the energy at the base of the spine and the movement of fluids along the spine, and then coming back to neutral. And we'll take a breath, bring our arms into a T shape alongside the body, and let's just rock our knees from side to side, turning our head in the opposite direction of the knees. And the next time that your knees drop open to the right, let's pause here. And we're taking our left thigh directly down the center of the mat. So you're bringing your knee in line with your hip and drawing the left heel a little bit closer up towards the hip. So you can feel a little bit of a back bend through the left side of the lower back, and also a stretch across the top of the hip and hip flexor. And this might feel like enough stretch tonight. If you'd like to deepen, you can place your right ankle on top of your left thigh. Make sure that the ankle is above the knee joint and this isn't a strain for your knee. And then you can take your left arm directly behind you and reach for the left wrist with the right hand. Closing your eyes. Taking another few deep breaths here. Exhaling to relax your arms and slowly draw both knees back to center. Placing your feet back to the floor and readjusting through the pelvis and hips. And we'll take a breath in and draw the left thigh towards the abdomen. Flex your left foot and cross your left ankle over the top of the right thigh. Place your left palm to the thigh bone and press the left thigh away from the body until you feel your pelvis come back to a neutral position. And you can either stay here with your right foot either on the floor or a block, or float your right thigh a little bit closer towards the chest and interlace your fingers behind the thigh bone letting the shoulders soften back, closing your eyes. Feeling your mind resting into the cradle of the heart. Feeling a sense of weight and substance within the heart. And as though you could sense and feel through the heart, the five senses of the heart. Taking one final breath into the chest. Exhaling to bring the right foot back to the ground and help your left foot off of the right. And then we'll open our arms into a T shape and again rock the knees from side to side with your head moving in the opposite direction. Eventually, both knees drop over to the left, and you can take your right thigh directly down the mat so that the knee and the top of your hip are in line with each other, heels close towards the hip, and there's no pressure on the knee. So make sure that you're modifying as needed. You might draw the heel a little bit more away from the hip if it feels too intense for your knee. And if you'd like, you can place your left heel on top of the right thigh. That will add quite a bit more pull to the hip flexor, so make sure that feels appropriate for your body. And then bring your right hand directly above you to the top of the mat and reach for your right wrist with your left hand. You can feel this beautiful stretch through the whole front fascial line of the body. And closing your eyes. Notice how, as you slow down your breath, and as you can feel and sense into the wave of your breath, that the fluctuations of the mind, the waves of the mind, also begin to slow down, and there's more space between the thoughts. Entering into the space between the thoughts. Relaxing your arms, slowly drawing the knees back to center and adjusting through the pelvis and hips. Floating the right knee towards the body, flexing through your foot, crossing the ankle on top of the left thigh, and take your right hand to the right thigh and press the thigh bone away. Taking a breath. Perhaps staying here, or you can float the left thigh closer to the body, adding any support under your sacrum like a folded blanket that you might need. And feeling into the outer hip, and as you begin to release your mind, your awareness expands into the subtle layers of energy, emotion, and thought. And you might notice how you carry your thoughts, your habits, your emotions in your body. Noticing how disconnected we become from our body and our innate sense of knowing when we're too much situated in the mind. Remembering that our minds are not our center. They're not who we are. The center lives in the heart, the space where we're whole and complete, where we can be at rest within ourselves. Placing our left foot back to the ground, releasing the right. And you might pause in stillness. You might take some movement through your body to integrate. Just taking a few moments here and then beginning to transition to Shavasana so you can integrate your practice. And sometimes in our practice, we feel a great sense of relief and release. And other times, our practice can stir up the depths. So, simply noticing what's arising for you in this space of integration. And you can stay here in this space of rest for as long as you need tonight. Naturally returning back through your breath when you're ready. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Namaste. For more yoga practices like these, please like this video, comment below, and share this video with a friend. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.